5 world-changing weather events. The world has seen some massive weather-changing events that have surprised everyone. These weather events are certainly a result of global weather changes. So, do you know about these world-changing weather events? If you want to know, watch this video till the end and subscribe for more. Here we begin. Number 5. European summer floods. These were one of the most expensive weather catastrophes in European history, costing $43 billion. It was Europe's deadliest flood after 1985. It struck Western Germany and East Belgium starting from July 12 to 18, when a slow low-pressure network released torrential rains that assassinated 240 people and resulted in $43 billion in destruction. So, this flood is regarded as the most expensive weather catastrophe in European history. For a quick note, rapid response research from the World Weather Attributions Protocol found that the probability of such an extreme one-day rainfall incident has been boosted by a factor between 1.2 and 9 because of human-caused global warming. Number 4. Danger signs. A key Atlantic Ocean current network that has deteriorated the temperature over the past few thousand years have been barely reliable, enabling the search of contemporary civilizations. Still, ice core researchers disclosed that the normal weather for Earth is one of the periodic pinnacle jumps, just like a light switch flickering constantly. So, it is inaccurate to believe that global warming will lead to a sluggish and constant improvement in temperature that humans can certainly adapt to. Instead, global warming could propel the climate network past a boundary wherein immediate, irreversible climate transitions would arise. That consequence would most likely occur if the raised condensations and glacial meltwater from global warming spilled the North Atlantic with sufficient fresh water to chill or even curtail the Atlantic meridional overturning circulation, which transfers warm, salty water from the tropical regions of the North Atlantic and delivers the cold water to the south via the ocean floor. Number 3. Bad news from a key glacier in Antarctica. Experimenters from the International Thwaites Glacier Collaborations declared their finding on breaks and fissures in the afloat ice shelf buttressing West Antarctica's Thwaites Glacier. Well, they indicated that the ice shelf could splinter in as little as 5 years, enabling accelerated melting of the Thwaites Glacier, which presently provides 4% of annual global sea level growth. But in a worst-case conditions, fracturing the ice shelf would enable some portions of Thwaites Glacier to triple in velocity, boosting the glacier's assistance to global sea level growth to 5% in the brief term. If we talk about it in the long term, we can say that the expense of the ice shelf buttressing the Thwaites Glacier could direct to its abrupt breakdown over decades or centuries, deriving at the expense of the whole West Antarctic ice sheet and a rise in global sea levels of almost 10 feet. Still, the velocity with which that breakdown might happen is highly unlikely. Number 2. The most extreme heat wave in world history. You all have heard about heat waves, which are quite common in dry or desert regions, but never in the century-plus record of world weather studies have multiple all-time heat records plunged by such an enormous margin as in the historic late June 2021 heat wave which occurred in Western North America. The severe heat wave was the second deadliest climatic catastrophe of the year, with 1,037 casualties, out of which 808 were recorded from Western Canada and 229 were from the northwestern US. But are there any other severe heat waves? You will find that there's one another. The only deadliest climate catastrophe of 2021 was the summer monsoon flooding in India that claimed 1,292 lives, according to multiple reports and surveys. Number 1. Flooding in China. Third costliest weather disaster in Asian history, a severe rainfall incident of almost unbelievable intensity struck Chengzhou, China on 20th July and reported an extraordinary 644.6 mm, which is 25.38 inches of rain in 24 hours. But first, let me notify you that this is more than a year's worth of rain. Its normal annual precipitations for the year 1981 to 1910 climatology is just 640.9 mm, which is 25.23 inches. Floods in China are as common as in some parts of India, but this massive flooding was the most devastating one. Flooding in China during the rainy seasons from June to September assassinated 347 people, deteriorated or eradicated 1.4 million residences and industries, and did $30 billion in destruction, according to many reports from MDAT. MDAT rates that it was the third most costly non-US weather disaster since detailed records stated in 1990, which was behind the 1998 flooding in China that costs about $48 billion and the 2011 flooding in Thailand that cost $47 billion. Climate modifications is anticipated to deteriorate the regularity, emphasis, and influences on some categories of severe weather circumstances. For instance, sea level rise boosts the effect of coastal hurricanes, and warming can position more tensions on water allowances during depletion. So that's all for today. What do you think about the weather events? Were these horrifying? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and smash the bell icon to get more uploads like this. I'll see you soon.